morning, brothers and sisters. Solar Wolf here. It is 9:11 a.m. Central Standard Time on April 2nd, 2022. Hope our Creator is keeping you well and safe wherever you are in the world. Please make sure to hit that like button, share this across other platforms, and subscribe if you're new. Welcome to the pack. We have a buoy in event mode out here near Thailand, and this is one heck of a significant strike, folks. Let's go ahead and check out the details on this. I've actually kind of got it pre-pulled. Station 23461 out in Phuket, Thailand. I know there's another way to say that, but Phuket, Thailand. They're showing this one here. They're not going back further, but it does show one heck of a significant strike. Now, to go just from seeing a tsunami in event mode, one of the best things you can do is, as always, go to check for earthquakes. Okay, and here we go to earthquake.volcanodiscovery.com, and we can see that there was an earthquake right here in the same region. Okay, so the earthquake was up here. Let's kind of zoom in on this a little bit. Yep, it was right here, right near Rangat, just east of Rangat, and Rangat would be here. So the earthquake was right here on this little ridge here, and this is where the tsunami, the buoy, is going off. So odds are there's a very high probability of a small tsunami. So if you happen to be out in this area, or if you know anybody that is over in these areas, please let them know that there's a buoy going off and there was an earthquake. So they could be in danger, folks. Be safe. And as we're checking out our Space Weather Prediction Center, NOAA.gov, we're looking at our real-time solar wind. And as we can see right about here, as we got to about -6, so that would be about 9 minutes after midnight. This is about right where it's looking like we had our possible CME impact. If you take a note, you can check out the discontinuity in solar wind, or discontinuity in the solar wind speed, which is a sign of a CME shockwave, basically. How we can see how it did this. See how it's got these little purple highlights? It kind of helps us out with the visuals of noting of the impact. Alright, so we came out of that, as you can see, kind of bounced back. It was a small one. This would have been that glancing blow from that that X flare that we were talking about. So it did arrive. It was just a little event, nothing major. And as we come over here to check our pressures, we can actually see that we do have a little bit of pressure that's on. It's not a super big deal. We're holding pretty steady at -20. Not a lot of reverberation or bouncing around going along. So, yeah, and actually it looks like this right here would be what I would believe to be the solar winds. That's, that was on the backside of that coronal mass ejection from the X1 flare. So we seem to be doing just fine. It's nothing to be overly concerned about whatsoever, which is good, right? It's just more confirmation that we did have the glancing blow, or the grays, if you will. Once again, folks, you're hearing it first here. As I'm on here prepping stuff up, look at this. We got another right in the middle of a flare. We are looking at a M3.89, happened at 1400 exactly UTC time. My goodness, or excuse me, 3.94 at 1350. Beg your pardon. I was behind the curve a little bit. Now, I want y'all to notice, remember this M flare when I was doing this one the other day, and then this one here was actually last night. See how it was a sharp up and a sharp down? Look at how wide the top is on this. There be some plasma with this thing. So let's go check out this shockwave, shall we? Let's go on over here to Space Weather Enthusiast first before we check the shockwave. And we can see here, let's take a look at our protons, see what we're doing here. Ooh, oh yeah. Solar proton flux. Uh-oh, that means that we are going to have our north and south poles lit up again. Let's go on down here. Come on. Oh, yes we do. Look at that. Rode that geomagnetic line right down to us. Let's go ahead and hit start really quick. Let me let that load real quick. Alright, and we do have it all loaded up now. Let's go ahead and take a peek at this. And this is... Now I want you guys to keep an eye on the length of the event. Okay, we're going to say that, well, actually, let's come on back over here and let's see what time it says that it's starting right here, right about 12:30. Okay, so 12:30 to current. That's 2 hours, folks. From the time that it actually started, I mean, living in C flare, obviously, whoop. But that's a pretty good event, 2 hours long. But once again, remember, where's our baseline at? We're living in C. All right. So
enough of that. So yeah, I'd actually have to concur right around 12:30. That's when we started picking up on it. And boom. So it's actually started at right around 12:30. So from 12:30 to 14:10, that's 40 minutes. It took 40 minutes for the protons to ride down our geomagnetic line. So really from the time that we actually started peaking red, let's see, from the time we started touching red, let's just say touching red. Yeah, I'd say we're starting to touch it right around there, about 1337. We're getting into it. 1340. Yeah, so 1340 to 1410. So that's about 30 minutes for it to go from the sun to here, riding down a geomagnetic line. That's how it works. It gets here pretty quick. Sometimes it can get here in 14 minutes. I mean, if it was a powerful and directly Earth directed, oh yeah, I'd be here like right now. So yeah, yippee-ki-yay. So if you happen to be up north and you can get some aurora, get your little fun buns outside. And I'll be honest, folks, I would almost say I'll be a monkey's uncle, but it almost looks like the Enlil spiral is current already. So if you watch the time that it leaves here and you watch the time up here, it actually shows right at the second, which would be today, like early in the morning, like today. So it could this could be caught up. It might not be, but it's possible. And I would say that it is actually moving. Yeah, this is showing. Well, let's actually just go look at SDO and see what we got. Of course, coming over to check Lasco before I head over there. Nope, timing is not even close. That's Lasco for you. All right, over here over at ISWA. We are going to take. Here we are at iswa.gsfc.nasa.gov, and this is where the fun stuff happens, folks. We are going to take a look at 94 angstroms of light, and we are going to watch this little pop. Ooh, look at this. This is a big pop too, folks. Wow, look at all that. Now, guess who that happens to be from? Guess who the culprit is? 2975. It was not done. It's like, I am not going unless everybody knows that I was here. Like, geez Louise. Now, here's the other thing I'm noticing, folks. As this one's going, once again, we're going to talk about chain reactions. You watching this one going off? I'm watching this one here too. Watch. See it? It's going off and this one's going off. So it's actually throwing. This one going off is setting this one off. So we actually have plasma coming towards Earth because of this. That's what I'm seeing. I actually see a filament release coming from that guy. Not major, not big, not like this guy. Nope, not at all. In fact, let's come on over here. Let's take a look at the 171 and let's see what we got going on here. This one is a little more dramatic because of the... Oh yeah, look at that. Let's get a little bit closer in so we can actually see both of these. We'll actually see 2975 and we'll see this one right here at the same time. So you can actually see this is already starting to leave the surface of the sun right at the same time of this explosion. Literally the same time. So, oh, that's a lot of plasma. Look at that plasma, folks. That is beautiful. And at the same time, we can see this finger here, this little arm here, is also leaving the sun at the same time. So that's coming at us. We've got some inbound. Now, let's come on over here and we're going to check out the 193 angstroms of light. We're going to see a little bit better on the solar tsunami side of it here. Oh yeah. Let's back it up a little bit and then we'll run her forward. Boom. Oh, that is beautiful. You guys see that solar tsunami? I mean, it comes all the way over to here. That's such an eruption. Oh, look at the reverberation on that. That is just insanity. And it's an M flare. Now, you remember what I told you guys about how when it becomes long, when those flares aren't a quick spike up and down, when it's a little bit longer and drawn out, there's always plasma with it. And here's another example of that. Right here, lots of plasma actually. Yeah, buddy. All right, let's go ahead and come on down here. We're going to take a look one more time at the 211, then we're going to take a look at 304 for our filament and plasma release. Ooh, come on over this way. There we go. Oh yeah. Riding that lightning. Okay. Now we're going to see a little bit better for our filament release here on the 304. And now here's one of the other things we got to remember. I'm going to bring this forward because we're not quite there yet. Oop, there it is. One of the things we have to keep in mind also, folks, is now we just saw all this plasma leave. Now you see these filaments here, right? We can see all these, the filament that's kind of dance along here, okay, the ribbons. Okay, we also have a ribbon right here, a nice little ribbon of plasma. Okay, we also have a really big one right here. I mean, here's a little one, but here's a big one right here. So, and here's the thing, these things can just let loose at any time. A coronal mass ejection, I mean, this is just a ribbon of plasma. It can just whoop, just throw it out at any time without a major flare. It can just be a little B flare, or just the fact that maybe it just kind of connected right and just pushes it off. Solar winds from a coronal hole, like from this guy. Like, let's say that this thing here just kind of happens to be growing and rolling, and then it happens to catch into the wind of this and it blows it out towards us. I mean, that happens quite regularly, actually. So, now we're going to zoom in on this. We're going to see this. Look at that beautiful plasma. That is a lot. Now, the majority of that is not Earth directed, so I have a feeling we're gonna miss the majority of that. But we still might get some plasma from this guy right here, this little eruption, a little cause and effect eruption, if you will. So I think we're going to get a teeny smidgen, glancing blow from the solar winds for sure. And with that, of course, there's always going to be a little bit of plasma. And look at what else we happen to have had happen. We have a new sunspot group been named. So we've got 2975 that's been firing off, right? And now we've got a new one that's been a part of this cluster that just kind of broke off on its own of 2984. So it's in between 2976 and 2975. So it can definitely be interacting, and playing around as well. Yippee-ki-yay to that, right? So, in closing, we have an R1. Okay, R1 radio blackout impacts, weak or minor degradation of HF radio communications on sunlit side, occasional loss of radio contact. Okay, so R1, S1, solar radiation storm impact. Nothing major, just minor impacts to high frequency radios. Okay, we also have a G1. These are things that are current happen. 24-hour observed maximums. This is what's currently happening. Okay, latest observed within the last 24 hours, and then this is what's predicted. Okay. Geomagnetic storm, weak power grid inflow fluctuations can occur, minor impact on satellite operations possible. Okay, so nothing to be too worried about, just minor stuff. However, keep in mind, we're taking a lot of it, like constantly. We had one just early this morning. We had a little impact, a little side swipe, a little glance or a graze from the X flare. This M flare, I'm sure we're going to wind up getting a little graze or a little glancing blow, if you will. So, yeah, this is why we keep our eyes open. No fear. Remember that love is the only way forward. Solar Wolf out.